Hey guys, it's Cal from the Lighting Doctor here. I hope you guys enjoy this video with some more great landscape lighting tips. To learn more about landscape lighting, go and check out our website at lightingdoctor.ca, or if you want to see what a real quality landscape light should look like, go and check out our Try It Before You Buy It offer, where you can get a premium quality fixture at a discounted rate with your very own battery pack, so you can go and test out how that light's going to look and feel what a real premium quality light should look like. So go and check us out at lightingdoctor.ca, or go watch more videos on YouTube just by searching for the Lighting Doctor. Hey Joe, thanks for your email and your pictures here. You got a great house for landscape lighting. I'll just kind of give you an idea of what I think it could definitely look. Sorry, wrong house. But I mean, this would be kind of a similar look that we're going for with your place, and I'll kind of show you how we could do that. Kind of a similar landscape. I'm going to talk to you mostly about accent lights and uplights. Uplights, I just think you get so much more bang for your buck out of those. I know a lot of people like path lights, and you can use a few of those, but you get way more bang for your buck out of those. And if you're looking at doing this in stages or anything, I always say start with the uplights, and then you can add a couple path lights. Or luckily, you know, we have some kits that have both that usually it fits pretty good. But what I would do on your project here is I would start with those uplights, and I think you just a standard regular uplight like you see on our website there. Is I would try and get one definitely on this tree over here, and then I would try and highlight the house a little bit by using those uplights kind of just outside the shutters here, fairly close to the house. You're probably about 12-18 inches back, because you kind of want to wash the stone a little bit, have that shining straight up, and get light to these top peaks. So I would do that on both sides of the window here and the shutters. And you are going to get some reflective light that's going to light these beds a little bit. I'll talk to you about some path lighting options, but I think it's not necessarily something you need to add, but you definitely can. And I mean, this is a good example of how they've used only a little bit. It's mostly accent lights, and actually in this one I don't even think they really used any path lights. But what some people do is if they have an accent light here and an accent light here, and they really want to highlight that walkway, then they'll put maybe a path light in between and in between and in between. So that way, instead of having 6 path lights, you only have 3, but you've got some accent lights that you can see are a lot more noticeable than a small little path light would be on the ground. So that's what I would do, the 2 there. And then I like that you've got one thing with lighting is anytime you got symmetry, it's always a good thing. And by the entryway here, I like that you've got these 2 trees on both sides, because what I'd probably do is try and get an accent light under both of these and kind of highlight this front entryway. I love doing that because it always makes everything so much more inviting. The only thing I would say about that is anytime you have one that's relatively close to the doorway like that, you want to add something called a hex baffle. So basically what it is on these lights, you just add a small little hex baffle, and it's like this little glare shield that fits right underneath the glass here and over top of the bulb, and it just helps deflect any side glare from that light. So it's pretty much just highlighting those areas. So that's what I would do there. Same theme on the rest of the windows that you've kind of done over here. I would try and have 2 of those kind of under the shutter that fill this dark area and highlight and wash the stone you've got here. And then what I would do over here is I would kind of mix it up a little bit. I would definitely try and get a light on this tree. Something I like using on any trees or shrubs that are under 6 feet, because you don't need a super bright thing. And if you do, what tends to happen is, and I'll show you an example in this picture, is how, you know, this is a small shrub, but you have an accent light on, and then you end up with this big hot spot, where a better light to use is a wash light like this. Very subtle, very soft light that you can use for those smaller ones. And I would probably try and get one of those. I would almost try and kind of get it on this angle and have it shining this way. And then what I would try and do is probably get like 2, if not 3 accent lights a little bit behind these trees here. So you know, probably kind of one in here that's shining up, because what's cool about that is you're not necessarily lighting the tree. So rather than lighting, you know, 2 or 4 of these, you're kind of lighting behind it. And what that does is you're showcasing the beautiful stonework you have here, but then it's also spreading light behind these so that you have the silhouette of these in front of it, which anytime you're doing evergreens, it's almost better to do that, because It's tough to get a light to do a really good job on these because it just ends up giving it a big hot spot. So I'm a bigger fan of putting, 2 or 3 of those up lights behind and getting the silhouette of those. And then you have this lit in the forefront. So different depths of light too is always important and a good option. And then along, already talked about this side. If you wanted to continue, and I don't think you need to overdo it. I think if you just lit this guy, just light this one maybe a little bit more from this angle than the front of the house. And why I say that is because the front of the house you're always already going to have lit nicely, but now it gives you a different viewing angle. If you light it more from this side, now anytime you're coming up on the side of the house this way, it's going to be a little bit more prominent, as well as with this kind of being washed. And it's not that you're not going to see it from the front of the house, but it just gives it different viewing angles. So now you've kind of increased your viewing angle from just, 180 degrees in front of the house to 270 here, and then you wrap around the other side of the house. You just extend that a little bit more. But then the last thing I would do, and I'll go back to the first picture, I would do the same thing with those accent lights that I talked about on both sides of the windows here. Again, fairly close to the house. You'll just get the silhouette of these, which is great. And again, I mean, you can see this is a perfect example of how that kind of works. And then the only thing I will change with that is for this one here, I would use a brighter bulb. So these guys are all what we call a 20 watt equivalent. So it's like a 4-watt LED bulb. But I'm going to suggest you use something a little bit brighter, which is like a 35 watt equivalent. And the reason for that is because this one, I would probably place a little bit further back and have it kind of shine through this guy so that you're highlighting this and try and get some of that light to the second story peak. So that's how I would do that. And then lastly, I would probably try and get another accent light on this guy, just a standard one. The only reason I wouldn't use a wash light on this one is because it is a little bit taller. This is going to absorb a lot of the light, so I feel like you kind of do need an accent light. And I would try and get it fairly close to the tree and have it almost shining straight up. So this kind of, it almost glows, and it really highlights a lot of the branching structures, where if you try and put it far back and shine it at it, you're going to end up with some glare and possibly some hot spot issues. Whereas if it's closer, shining up, it's going to do a better job of lighting this. And then the last thing I'll say is that's where if you wanted to add some path lights, you could add a path light on the side here. You've got an accent light here. You might throw another path light in here. You've got an accent light here. You might throw another path light in here. You have an accent light in here. And then you could do that along the pathway. Just use them very sparingly, because I think from a distance, the uplights alone that you're going to have on this would give you a way better effect. So in summary, I think you're 1, 2, 3 accent lights, 4, 5, and then 6, 7, 8 along the side here, 9, 10, 11 accent lights that are just standard, 2 more with a hex baffle, that's 13, and then the 135 watt equivalent one here, and then a wash light on this little guy here. So the nice thing is you can easily, with that amount of lights and just in the front of the house, you would easily be able to just go ahead and use a wiring kit like this. So you can go see if one of the kits kind of fits into your plan, and you might have to add 1 or 2 extra uplights. Or you can just add however many of these you need to your cart. But a wiring kit like this will work. It has a 150 watt transformer. It's more than enough to cover those lights. 250 feet of wire. It's got all your wire connectors, and then it has the app and the timer that basically just plugs into the transformer, and then you can go and run it from your phone. But it's also got like 7 different timer options, so you can pretty much set it up however you want. But if you want the flexibility to be able to turn it on and off with your phone, you can do that too. So hopefully that gives you a good idea. Go ahead, play around, add some stuff to your cart, look at the different kits. But if you want us to customize something based on those recommendations too, or if there's any things you like or don't like, let me know, and I would be happy to do that too. So thanks again for your email, and I look forward to hearing from you.
Hey guys, it's Cal from the Lighting Doctor here. We're going to show you how to light up your landscape from anywhere in the world using the Wion Wi-Fi smart plug. So this is a great device, and you can literally use almost any smart plug. The reason that we choose this one is that this is a smart plug that's actually designed to go outside, and we've tested it We're from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, where we get temperatures that are minus 30, minus 40 degrees Celsius in the wintertime, which is extremely, extremely cold. And I know this guy still works. And there's literally hundreds of smart plugs on the market that you can use the same way that you can use this one. But we use this one because it's tried and it's tested, and I know that it works even in extreme, extreme conditions. But that being said, you can go, if you have a smart home system and they make an outdoor Wi-Fi smart plug, you can probably use that the exact same way with your existing transformer. But how we go and use this with this transformer is, all we do is, instead of plugging our transformers directly into the outlets, we just plug them into our Wi-On Wi-Fi plug, and then we plug this into the wall. And then now with the Wi-On app, we can go and set all kinds of different programmer timing functions, turn our lights on from anywhere in the world, and do so many other cool things with it. It's also compatible with Amazon Alexa, which is also a really cool feature, and why we like using this. It's so much more high-tech than a lot of the old analog timers that are on the market that will typically work with a transformer like this. But if you want to go and operate your lights from anywhere in the world, we highly recommend the Wi-On Wi-Fi smart plug. But if you're looking for more advice on how to go and use this and how to design and install your own landscape lighting system, then go to lightingdoctor.ca and access our free consultation, where you can actually send us pictures of your property, and we're going to walk through some of the best ideas, the best lights to use, and the best way to plan out your landscape lighting project. So go and access that at lightingdoctor.ca, and I look forward to all your comments and questions. So thanks for watching. Hey guys, I really hope you enjoyed that video presentation with some great tips and tools on how to go and properly and effectively light up your landscape. And be sure, if you want your own free consultation video, just send me an email at cal@lightingdoctor.ca with a few pictures of your property, and we'll get back to you with some really cool ideas and ways to go and effectively light your property. And be sure to watch the videos after this one for more tips on how to install landscape lighting, as well as how to light up your landscape the best way possible.